Okay, chapter 11 is percents. So after reading through this chapter and watching the videos of examples that I have for you, the student should be able to explain the relationship between percents and decimals, convert percents to decimals, and convert decimals to percents. So the term percent means parts per 100. So parts per 100. Or you can say out of 100. So the percent symbol, of course, can be used as a way to write a fraction with a common denominator of 100. So you can write, of course, percents as decimals by moving the decimal point 2 places to the left. This first example here, you have 27%, and you have it's a whole number here, so you just move 2 places to the left. So it'd be 0.27 would be the decimal. And then you would do the opposite if you was going to take it from decimal to percent. So you can also write the decimals as percent by moving the decimal point 2 places to the right. So you take the decimal, move it 2 places over, and of course then you'd add the percent sign. We're also going to look at finding, of course, n, or finding the value of n, depending on, of course, what they are asking for. So I'll give you some of the examples of those as we go through the homework problems. So if you look on page 81, you have the following, express the following percents as decimals. So number 1, you have 33%. So you're going to, remember, move the decimal 2 places to the left. So here is your decimal. Move it 1, 2. Okay, and then you take the percent sign away. So that's 0, because you always have to have a leading 0, 0.33. Number 2, you have 24%. Again, you're going to move that decimal over 2 places to the left. So 1, 2, and then you have 0.24. So all these are pretty much basically the same. What I'm going to do here, show you one, actually not number, yeah, I'll show you number 3 first because it's a different one. It's 33.3%. Your same rule, you move the decimal 2 places to the left. Go 1, 2. So then you have 0.333. Now if you go over and look at example 14, you have 0.25%. You're still going to do the same thing. You're still going to move the decimal 2 places to the left, but you may have to add some zeros in there. So we have one here. We have 1, 2. So you have to add a 0 there. So now it's 0.0025. Okay, also on page 81, the next set of questions, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to express the following decimals as percent. So now we're going to move the decimal 2 places to the right. So number 16, 0.2444. We want to make it a percent, so we're going to move it 2 places to the right. So it'll be 1, 2, and now our number is 24.44, and then we're going to add the percent sign. Number 17, you have 0.3. You're going to move your decimal point over 2 places to the right. So it's 1, 2. So you got to add a 0. So then your percent now is 30%. Number 35 is one that people sometimes will get confused on because you have just the number 2. but you got to think of it as 2.0. Okay, so then you're going to move your decimal point 2 places to the right. So this will go 1, 2. You have to add a 0 in. So then you have 200%. Okay, now I'm going to show you a little formula that I use. The book uses a different formula, but use whichever one is easiest for you. But on page 82 and 83, it talks about calculating the following, and sometimes it's giving you 25% of like a number, 600, or it may say 4 out of 5. So this formula works for both. Okay, so my formula for these, and again, I'm doing a different formula that's in the book. If this one doesn't work for you, or you don't understand this one, just put out your mind, go back and read the book, the one that's in the book. The one in the book has you doing many different things, where this is just one formula. So your formula is going to be percent over 100, and then the word out over of. And then what we're going to do, this is ratio proportion, we're going to cross multiply. Okay. So for your first example, number 36, you're just going to plug in the numbers. And you know you have 25%, so the 25 would go here, because 25%, and you always have 100. And anytime you have a percent sign, this is always a given number. You never change that. Okay. And then on the other side, out of, and you don't have anything where it says out, but it says of 600. So your of would go here. And I always just put of here just to remind me that's what I'm doing here. So with ratio proportions, you can do a cross multiplication if you do 3 of the 4 parts. So this one is our x, or n. Then we're just going to cross multiply. And remember, anything that you multiply the x by always goes on the bottom. Okay, and then of course you're going to multiply 25 times 600. You'll get 15,000. Okay, so then you have 2 zeros here and 2 zeros here, so you can mark those off. And then you have 150 over 1. So your answer is 150. Again, I will do that again. Just memorize this formula, percent, and you put out over of. Okay, so number 37 is asking you 20% of 30 equals what? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this over here. So we know we got 20%. You don't change the 100, it stays the same. Don't have a number for out, we have a number for of, so it's of 30. Okay, so we have our 3 numbers. Then we're going to cross multiply. This will always be x because it's the missing number. So 100 times x will be 100. It goes on the bottom because anytime, whatever you multiply the x by, always goes on the bottom. And then 30 times 20 would be 600. And again, here we're going to simplify because we have 2 zeros here and 2 zeros here. We're just going to take them off. 6 divided by 1 is 6. So 20% of 30 would be 6. Again, put your formula up here. And this is number 38. Okay, it's asking for 15% of 20. Sorry about apologize for my sloppy handwriting. But again, we know our 15 is a percent, so it's going to go with the percent sign. Never change the 100. Our of 20 would go here. So this would be our missing number, so it would be x. So x times 100 would be 100. 20 times 15 is going to be 300. Again, we have 2 zeros here, 2 zeros here, so we can simplify that out. 3 divided by 1 is 3. So we'll do one more of these, and then I'll go to the other one. Percent out of 100 out over of number 39, 75% of 50. So we know we have 75 would be our number here. Always keep 100. And of 50, so of 50. Okay, this will be our missing number, so that's x. X times 100 would be 100, and it always goes on the bottom because you multiplied it by x. 75 times 50 is 3,750. And if you want to simplify that, you could do that by taking out the 2 zeros. But you still have 375 divided by 10, and that's going to be 37.5. Okay, next, if you go over on page 83, we're going to do express the following expressions as percents. We're still going to use the same formula. Percent over 100 out over of. Okay, so we look at our question, number 51 is asking for 4 out of 5. Okay, so we always still keep our 100. That's always a given number with this formula. We have 4 out, so there'll be 4 with that number of 5, so you're 5. So it's 4 out of 5, so 4 will be over 5. Okay, you're going to cross multiply. Again, right now our percent is going to be the x because it's our missing number. So x times 5 would be 5. 4 times 100 would be 400. And 400 divided by 5 would be 80. So then our answer is 80. So 4 out of 5 would be 80%. 80%. Okay, we'll do a couple more of these. Number 52 is asking for 2 out of 10. Again, same formula, percent over 100 equals. So you have out over of. And again, we're going to be finding x percent. We have the out number is 2 of 10. Cross multiply. X times 10 will go on the bottom because we multiplied it by x. 2 times 100 would be 200. We're going to simplify by taking out 1 0 on each one. And then you have 20 over 1, so it's 20. So 2 out of 10 would be 20%. Okay, number 54. Again, you want 15 out of 20. So you have your percent over 100 equals out over of. You have your out number is 15 of 20. And this will be x because it's our missing number. So x times 20 always goes on the bottom because we multiplied it by x. 15 times 100 be 1500. If you want to simplify that by taking out 1 0 on each one, you could do that. But 1500 or 150 divided by 2 or 1500 divided by 20, either way, equals 75. So 15 out of 20 would be 75%. Okay, now on page 85, and we're going to use the same formula for this one as well too. You have your formula, percent over 100 equals out over of, and this one's a little bit more trickier, but number 66, so if n is 20% of 50, what is n going to equal? Okay, so with this one, of course, we know our percent, so that would go above the 100, and then we know our number of 50 of, so it'll be down here. So now we're looking for the n, which is going to be the out number. So x times 100, be 100 go on the bottom, 20 times 50, of course, would be 1,000. Have two zeros on each end, on each number, so you can simplify those out, and 10 divided by 1 would be 10. So n equals 10. Number 67, if n is 35% of 24, what does n equal? So you have percent over 100 equals out over of. Again, we know we have 35%, so this goes here. Of 24, it go where the of number is. And then you're going to cross multiply. This is going to be x because it's our missing number. So x times 100 is going to go on the bottom because we multiplied it by x. And 35, of course, times 24 would be 840. So, and if you want to simplify this, you could take out the two zeros, or 1 0 on each number. So you have 84 divided by 10. That's going to be 8.4. So n equals 8.4. Number 68, if n is 60% of 8, what does n equal? So again, we're going to do our formula, percent over 100 out over of. Okay, so you have your 60% goes here. Keep your number 100. We have our of 8, so this will be 8. This is our missing number, so it'll be x. Okay, x times 100, whatever you multiply the x by, it always goes on the bottom. 60 times 8, of course, is 480. Again, you could divide 480 by 100, or you can take off 1 0 on each one, each number. You have 48 divided by 10, and it's 4.8. So n equals 4.8. Okay, work through your homework problems to give you some practice. If you need additional help with this, just email me and I can meet you during my office hours to review some of it. If you have any questions, you could also email me.